Well, if we do compare it back to the motor show in 2021, almost double the amount of Chinese companies are now participating here in the motor show. Of course, on the one hand, it's because of the Chinese electric mobility show that is taking place for the first time outside of China on September 6th here, but also it's this big push that the Chinese companies are now doing here into the European market. Now, there has been a number of EV brands, Chinese EV brands that have been established here in Europe with their technology, but also new brands that appeared for the first time, like Sense Auto, which is a company providing software for EV companies and vehicles. Now, again, here it's the push has been quite significant. Europe is the second largest market after China, and it's pretty much a market that has a lot to offer, especially at what China is providing, and that is to provide a medium range vehicle that can be bought by the average European that doesn't have to put a lot of money from their own pocket. Now, on the European side, though, a lot of European companies are also investing in China, and we spoke to the CEO of Mercedes-Benz, and he said that the last few years, the investments of EV vehicles in China have increased quite significantly. Let's have a listen.
We have just had the last 2 or 3 best months of selling EVs in China, and step by step also kind of in the premium and in the luxury segment, it's starting to grow organically, although most of the EV action is down in the entry and volume segment where Mercedes does not have an offering, but it's coming. And the Chinese customer is technology oriented. I mean, the new digital features in this CLA with the super screen, you can watch videos, you can sing karaoke while somebody else is driving, it's all there. So we're very much paying attention to what does that technology-oriented customer in China look for, and we will make sure that he or she gets that with a Mercedes.
And that's exactly what the Chinese, that's what Mercedes-Benz and European brands have been targeting in China. But also there's been a significant kind of decrease of European brands here are trying to compete with Chinese EV makers. Now, the Europeans here are focusing more of the battery technology that is less harmful to the environment, a battery that could last longer, but also the technology and the software that the vehicle has to offer, upgrading into intelligence and digitalization. Now, that's what European companies are trying to offer, and that's what they're trying to do, because we've seen a number now of companies who are investing heavily into the transformation of the traditional vehicles, and that's what also European brands now are trying to do as well, trying to twist away from that old school kind of mentality of combustion engines and investing more into smart vehicles, as the CEO of Mercedes has been saying. Now, he said that they're investing quite heavily. They're going to invest some 50 billion euros into that market to switch for the next day, as the CEO has been saying. Let's have a listen.
China is the biggest car market in the world, and it is the biggest market also for Mercedes-Benz in the world. We have enjoyed over the last many years tremendous success, built our market presence, increased our production footprint. We have a complete set of suppliers in China. We do R&D in China. So I almost call it a home away from home. It's hugely important for us, and we're continuing to invest into China. So we believe in the long term there is a growth potential for us, and we're going to continue to take advantage of that market opportunity by also being a little bit Chinese in China.
Some European brands like Mercedes, BMW, are feeling the pressure from increased Chinese production in the electric vehicle market. So what are they doing to respond?
Well, they're trying to also compete by providing with less price range of their vehicles, because we've seen so far that most of the European brands and other Western brands, the prices of those vehicles are quite expensive. Prices that the average European citizen is very difficult for them to afford, and that's what they're focusing on. They're focusing on trying to compete with what China has been doing for a significant amount of years right now, and has been pushing quite hard into the European market, is that the vehicle that is pretty much friendly to the consumers, a friendly consumer vehicle with a significant amount of range that could be charged in a smaller period of time, but also could last long, and the price range is not high. We've seen prices, you know, in the 40s and 40,000s, which is the average sedan from BYD, for example. And that's now what BMW behind me is trying to do, but also Mercedes-Benz. And we spoke again in the conversation that we had with the CEO, and that's what he was saying. He was saying that we are trying to focus on that, and we're trying to make it more friendly to the people who are going to buy. Let's have a listen.
It's natural that when an industry is in transformation like the auto industry right now, there will be some new players that will test their luck as well. We're focusing on what Mercedes customers are looking for. You know, the perfect blend between innovative technology on the one hand, desirability, timeless design on the other hand. In terms of investment, Mercedes-Benz is investing more than 15 billion euro this year in research and development, new factories around the world, new technologies. So in speed and level of investment, there are not many players that can keep up with us.